Hello. In the previous session, we seen fission, that is binary fission and multiple fission and budding in yeast. Today in this session we will continue the asexual mode of reproductions, and here budding in yeast is a unicellular organism, and another multicellular organism known as the hydra. It also reproduces by the process of budding. You know, where organisms, they have the complex body design when compared to the simple body design as cell, tissue, organ system and the whole body, where the complexity of the body design go on increases, becomes complicated, where the specific cells, a specific tissue or a specialized organ or the system is responsible for the process of reproduction. So, unicellular organisms, they have a very simple mode of reproduction when compared to the complex body designed organisms, where the body organization becomes complicated. There we can see a specific system, a specific organ, a specific cell for the process of reproduction. Where in case of hydra, it also reproduces by the process of budding. It is a multicellular animal where yeast is a unicellular fungus. When hydra get matured, body part, hydra body part, tentacles, from the any part of the body, a small bud, or it is also known as the outgrowth, it starts to develop from the body part. In some of the cases, one or two buds may appear on the body part of a hydra. This bud grows with repeated cell division. You know, it is a multicellular repeated cell division, and this outgrowth or a bud grows by repeated cell division. It gets the small tentacles. When the tentacles started to appear, then the bud detaches from the parent and grows individually. In case of hydra, we will repeat once again. When the hydra get matured, from its body part a small outgrowth or a bud appears. That bud grows and forms tentacles with the repeated cell division. Where tentacles appeared, the bud separates, detaches from the parent hydra and grows independently. This we can see in the case of budding in the hydra. Now, we will go to another asexual mode of reproduction in case of Spirogyra, as it reproduces by the method of fragmentation. Here fragments means to cut, to divide, to separate. Spirogyra it reproduces by the process of fragmentation. When a spirogyra, it gets matured, the body parts get cuts. The cut body part grows independently as a new spirogyra. This one we can see in the spirogyra as it reproduces by the method of fragmentation. Fragments means to cut into pieces and grow the cut piece into independent organism. That one we can see in the case of spirogyra. Next, we will go to the regeneration. Regeneration and budding in hydra, they have a specialized cells for the process of reproduction. In case of hydra also, they have a specialized cell for the repeated cell division, they grow, and in regeneration also the organisms, they reproduce by the method of regeneration, they have a specialized cell known as regenerative cells. They reproduce by the method of regeneration. But here the regeneration is not a method of reproduction, but by this process the organism, its lost body part, it grows. So, it is also said to be as the type of the method of a reproduction. This regeneration we can see in case of planaria as the platyhelminthes or the flatworm. This is planaria. Planaria, it reproduces by the method of regeneration. When the planaria, the body part cuts into number of pieces. The cut piece grows, separates, forms independent planaria, where in case of the regeneration, the cut piece grows and forms the independent. The middle piece we can separate as the head piece, middle and the tail piece. Here head piece will separate middle and the tail piece. Head piece, it grows, the middle piece and the tail becomes independent organism. The middle piece, it grows a tail piece and the head and becomes individual, and tail, it grows a middle piece as well as the head. So, from the lost body part or cut body part, the organism grows into individual separate organisms, where the body part cut, lost, or we can say as a damaged, that part also grows, and this method, so it is said to be as the type of a reproduction. Next, we will go spore formation. We can see these spore formation in fungal organisms or fungi. In the case of rhizophus or bread mould, spore formation. In case of rhizophus or bread mold, can see in a rainy season the moist, where the place is moist or in any food material, the white cottony structures we can see, the growth of this is nothing but a rhizophus. It grows by the process of spores. Spore is nothing but a cell. This is a food material, rhizophus. It have a root like structures known as the hyphae. From this hyphae it gets the nutrition food, and top of that we have a round structure known as ball. In this, number of spores or sporangium are present. In a favorable conditions, this sporangium it breaks, and these spores they scatter into the environment, and when they get land in a favorable conditions on a food, and they also grow into individual. Spores are nothing but the sexually reproducing cells. From these spores, again when they will get land on a food material, they grow individually. This we can see in the spore formation, where in the rhizophus or the bread mold as the fungal organism. Next, we will go to the vegetative propagation, where in vegetative propagation, the plants mainly grown by their vegetative parts. In case of vegetative propagation, we will first go to the advantage and disadvantage of this, very important, where the plants which we are growing from the vegetative propagation, vegetative reproduction, the plants which not bear the seeds, those plants also we can grow by their vegetative parts. And the plants which are growing from the vegetative propagation method, these plants they are same as to their parents in the case of the genetical inheritance, or they are similar genetically to their parents. So, they have the same characteristics of their parent. Next, we can grow the plants by the vegetative parts rapidly, fastly compared to the plants which one we are growing by their seeds. The plants which we are growing by the seeds, it takes time to germinate the seed and to grow. So, the plants which we are growing by their vegetative parts, we can grow fastly, rapidly compared to the plants which are growing by their seeds. This disadvantage, if the parent plant is suffering from a disease, this disease is mainly transferred to the offspring or the progeny. So, it is the most disadvantage of the vegetative propagation. Before this method, we will come to know what are the vegetative parts of the plant. You know, roots, leaf, root system, shoot system. Here, root, leaf, stem are said to be as the vegetative parts, are important, and the flower is the reproductive part. You know, flower, it bears the gametes, sex cells. So, it is said to be as the reproductive part, but other parts such as the leaf, root, stem are said to be as the vegetative parts. Sir,